Hello everyone, I hope you are having a wonderful day. Today I would like to compare and share my experience with these three different decks that I have here. So two of them are made by SMS Audio and one of them is made by Loxi Audio D40 deck and headphone amplifier. So for the price wise, the Loxi D40 sells for $430, SMS DO200 retail for $490, and the D300 by SMS also retail for $400 range. So these three decks are comparable price range in terms of sound quality and price as well. So when it's come to build quality, this SMS DO200 is above other two because it's solid chassis and solid enclosure, but menu systems and input output control, simple layout and simple push button and one knob control, I have to give it to Loxi D40 for the usability and functions and features that are easy to use. So SMS D300 is pretty good as well, but it has a dedicated power button as well as menu button and FN button, and they all features the main power switches in the back. And maybe SMS DO200 is a little less easier to use because one knob do it all operation. If you want to have a one component for all your needs such as deck, headphone amplifier as well as preamplifier, that Loxi D40 will be better choice. But all you need is the deck to pair with your existing components. This SMS D300 may be better choice in terms of sound quality, because overall sound quality in my system, comparing these back to back, that SMS D300 is above, head and shoulder above DO200 and Loxi D40 in terms of sound quality and musicality. If you need I2S or AES digital inputs, you have to choose either DO200 or this Loxi D40. Compatibility with the pairing components such as pairing with my Sony HAP-Z1ES music server or MacBook Pro using the Audio-Havana as the playback software, I will have to give it to Loxi D40 because most quietest switching the formats DSD to PCM, PCM to DSD, they don't make any noticeable noises. Doesn't matter what playback system or playback software that you use, this DO200 and Loxi D40 have no issue at all, other than that DO200 have a little bit of pop noise when switching formats. So one thing that I like to remind you is SMS D300 DSD playback is only support in native format, no DOP. Doesn't matter what playback system or playback software you use, it will only support in native DSD formats, such as Audio-Havana will convert to PCM when it's playing back with your MacBook computers or Mac computers, so that way this D300 will not support it. So there's going to be no sound at all, but it will totally support if you play native DSD via Sony Music Server or any other Windows machine. And those kind of things are little different with this SMS D300. Even in deck mode or pre-mode, the DOP is not available. I just want to let you know that. They are very convincingly musical sounding decks that you can buy in this price range under $500 US. So I started out with Loxi D40, which has the very same digital to analog converter chips as the DO200. So its sound signature and sound quality that is, as I mentioned in that dedicated review of this D40, it has the natural transparent sound. Yeah, there are a little bit of a fullness and like a media tonality in upper mid-range and mid-range region. High frequency have a really good nice extension, airiness and spaciousness, and soundstage is comparable to this DO200. DO200 notes are a little bit crisper and a little bit more precise, I would say. But you can change that to, changing the sound color setting in that D40. If you change it to sound color 3, is slightly crisper and more precise sound. So that is depending on how you're gonna tune it. But based on the factory setting, this DO200 is slightly precise and slightly, more attack as well. So the Luxy D40 is slightly laid back in upper mid-range and mid-range area, but nothing major. Okay, they are very much comparable, but DO200 may be slightly darker background. So that is what I'm using with my KEF R11 speakers. Then I switch over to this SMS D300. So the soundscape is a bit wider, a little bit more spacious, and a little bit better instrument separation. The precisions and the definition is comparable. The voices and vocals are more precise and more natural on SMS D300. D300 is the lowest price of 3, yet best sound quality of 3 in my system for the precise notes and better soundscape and instrument separation with area extensions and more well-produced voices and vocals with more precision sound quality that we are going after, so which can provide you that. So that SMS D300 is my favorite of 3 when it's come to digital to analog converters. So next thing is the using as the pre-DAC. So when it's come to that pre-DAC features and functions, Luxy D40 is my favorite for easy to use, compatible with any component that I pair them, and then easy to control as well. And this SMS DO200 is my second favorite when it's when I'm using it as a pre-DAC. So SMS D300 is not good for pre-DAC unless you only play PCM files. And then because of a DSD files, this D300 cannot control the volume, so that's why there is no sound at all. So that Muse IC chip is not volume control available when it's playing the DSD formats. That's a little downside for me. But if you're gonna use as the DAC only, there's no issues at all. So my final thoughts on these 3 different DACs is, if you want headphone amp preamplifier plus DAC, this Luxy Audio D40 is great choice for the price, performance, and sound quality that you can get. For the all-around feature as well as preamplifier, this DO200 is a second choice. Okay, number 3 is of course D300, but I wouldn't even recommend you to use it as a preamplifier. But when it's come to DAC only, SMS D300 is my favorite, solely based on sound quality alone. Okay, musicality, precision notes, and overall accurate sound with great detail and really precise sound reproductions that are very hard to find in this kind of price point. So if you are shopping for DAC only, that D300 is my highest recommendation. If you want great all-around DAC as well as preamplifier and headphone amplifier, that Luxy D40 is great choice. SMS DO200 is still great buy, but comparing features and functions, I have to give it to Luxy Audio D40 for features and functions and everything that it can do, yet stay lesser price than DO200. So if you need all the features, that Luxy D40 is great buy. If you need digital to analog converters only, then you want either DO200 or that D300, but I can easily recommend you to try D300 for more precise sound quality and better musicality based on my experience using in my system. So that is my quick comparison review. You will hear the back-to-back sound demonstration here as well. So that's it, my friend. Thank you for watching and happy listening.
It's these expressions that never give that keeps me searching for a heart of gold. And I'm getting old. They keep me searching for a heart of gold. And I'm getting old. I've been to Hollywood, I've been to Redwood, I've crossed the ocean for a heart of gold. I've been in my mind, it's such a fine line that keeps me searching for a heart of gold. And I'm getting old. It keeps me searching for a heart of gold, and I'm getting old. Keeps me searching for a heart of gold. Keeps me searching and I'm growing old. Keeps me searching for a heart of gold. I've been a miner for a heart of gold. And I'm getting old. A miner for a heart of gold. It's these expressions that never give that keeps me searching for a heart of gold. And I'm getting old. They keep me searching for a heart of gold. And I'm getting old. I've been to Hollywood, I've been to Redwood, I've crossed the ocean for a heart of gold. I've been in my mind. It's such a fine line that keeps me searching for a heart of gold. And I'm getting old. It keeps me searching for a heart of gold. And I'm getting old. Keeps me searching for a heart of gold. Keeps me searching and I'm growing old. Keeps me searching for a heart of gold. I've been a miner for a heart of gold. And I'm getting old. A miner for a heart of gold. It's these expressions that never give that keeps me searching for a heart of gold. And I'm getting old. They keep me searching for a heart of gold. And I'm getting old. I've been to Hollywood, I've been to Redwood, I've crossed the ocean for a heart of gold. I've been in my mind. It's such a fine line that keeps me searching for a heart of gold. And I'm getting old. It keeps me searching for a heart of gold. And I'm getting old. Keeps me searching for a heart of gold. Keeps me searching and I'm growing old. Keeps me searching for a heart